As a home inspector, I go into homes every day and I see accent walls all the time, and I'm like, wow, that looks so good. In this video, I'm going to show you how I'm going to create an accent wall for my living room. After staring at it for months, I finally came to the conclusion that I need to put an accent wall up here. And this is Teresa. She just walked into my shot. Got to do that one again. Seeing how this is such a big wall space, I don't just want to put paint on it and have it look plain. I want it to stand out real good. I decided to go with a 1x8 shiplap plank. Got it at Home Depot. I'm going to show you how to install it, start to finish. So this here is the corner board, which is 3.5 by 8 foot by 3/4 inch thick. I'm going to mount these right to here. And here is the plank. This is the shiplap plank, and this is going to go horizontal on the wall like this. It's going to butt against there just like that. That's going to look awesome. Another thing I want to point out is you can run this vertically if you like. It's up to you. You're the homeowner. You can do whatever you want. So the reason why I'm going this way is because I'm also going to have 2 floating shelves on this wall. So I think it'd look better if they were going in the same grain direction. This is the grain right here going this way. If you do it vertical, your grain is going up and down. So keep that in mind if you're going to put something on the wall later. First thing I need to do is break out my stud finder. So I just purchased this from the Sherwin-Williams paint store. It's called the StudBuddy Pro. Let's see how good it works, because I need to find where I can nail to. My planks are going to be horizontal, so they're going to go this way, not vertical. So I need to find all my nail points in the wall. I started marking some of them, but let's do the rest together and I'll show you how this works. The magnets on the back of this are grabbing a nail or a screw that's behind the drywall here. So now I'm just going to level it, make a mark here like I did, make a mark here. And I want to point something out very important here. I have an electrical panel on the other side of this wall, which means the back of that panel is right up against this drywall. So I cannot nail here, otherwise I will shoot nails in through the back of the electrical panel, and that's not a good thing. You really need to be careful when you're doing this. Remember, walls typically have 2 sides, so make sure you know what's on the other side. Now I have all my studs marked on the wall. I'm going to have a corner right here to use to nail. I'm going to nail here, 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 and here. So I have 5 nail points in a little like 6'6" area. This wall is about 6'6". So that's plenty of nailing. Now that the StudBuddy located all my studs, now I can take my level, find my StudBuddy mark, hit the level on it, and scribe down. And then going to all the way up as I get up on my ladder. So I'm going to mark all these areas, make sure the level is plumb. All right. Now I have a line to follow. I have a line to follow, and this is pretty self-explanatory because it's on the edge. I know I have a corner bead right here from the drywall, so I'm going to start nailing probably about 1.25 inches over, maybe 1.5 inches right here all the way down when I put my sideboards on. That's how you get started. You got to find the studs, make sure you're not nailing into anything important on the other side of the wall. Bam, we can get started. Another thing I need to do, I almost overlooked, is because I have white paint here and I have a dark wood plank going on top, I don't want to take the chance of having a little gap in between the pieces of wood and seeing that white paint. So I'm going to take a dark paint and just paint my edges. Okay, so I'm just going to use some of the sample paint I bought. I think I went through 7 different samples. It adds up. Anyway, I'm just going to use this, get some use out of it. I did pay for it. So remember, the point of this is to be able to hide this joint right here when the horizontal board touches the corner board. I'm not going to bore you with all this painting, so we'll get right to the next step.
I decided to make my accent wall the same height as the openings going from my living area into my hallway on both sides. Now that I made sure my first corner piece is plumb, I can now nail it off. Now I need to cut to length and then plumb and nail in my right side corner board. That there is a sample of my new flooring that will be installed later, so I wanted to make sure that when it does get installed, it has a nice clean look around my new accent wall. If you already have an existing floor, you don't have to worry about this step. So I just figured out that my right side piece seems to be longer than my left side. So I have to make decisions here like, okay, do I make them both exactly the same height? Are they going to be level going across? These are things that always come up when you do any kind of a project, because you're dealing with an existing wall or a new wall, and something's not connected right. It's a little bit out of level. It's out of plumb. These are the things you got to learn how to deal with, and this makes you better and better as you go with your DIY projects. So the executive decision I made was to cut my right side length the same as my left side. Now that I have it nailed in place, I'm going back and I'm making sure I get 2 nails side by side every 16 inches. Okay, we got the 2 trim pieces in on each side. Here's what it looks like up close. I really like the way this is coming out. I love that wood grain. It's really deep on that wood. I think the board color really accents that paint color very well. The trim boards are up. Now we just need to fill this void with horizontal plank. Let's go. First thing we got to do here is measure our length of our first plank. And don't forget, measure twice, cut once.
Before you cut your boards and make your measurements, you got to make sure the end that you're pulling your tape from is actually square. This is not. It's flush there, but it's probably an 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch off over here. So I need to cut this piece off so it's nice and straight, and I'm going to do that with my miter saw.
Okay, here's the first cut. Let's see how I did. Seems to fit pretty good. This next step is crucial. You got to make sure your first board is level. So you can use the level or you can use a laser. I've just completed all the hard steps. The rest is a breeze. The next steps are measure, cut, level, nail, repeat. I want to share another tip with everybody, and that is open your boxes up and take a good look at all your boards. Some of the boards they may have a little too many knots in them. You may not like where the knots are located. Depends on what you're doing with your wall. In my case, I'm going to have a lower cabinet blocking the lower rows. So what I decided to do is take the ones I really didn't want to see and put those at the bottom, just to give you an idea, because I know I'm going to cover the bottom of that wall anyway. So think about that before you start your project. That way you're very happy with your result. Check it out. We got 4 rows up. I want to now talk to you about the nail gun I'm using, the nails, and the nailing pattern.
To nail the boards to the wall, I'm using my Milwaukee 16 gauge angle finish nailer. This is a great little tool. I've had this for several years. Works great. The nails I'm using are 2-inch. As you can see right here, I just picked this box up right here, brand new box, 2,000 nails in it. This was $48 at Home Depot. Wow. I had to eat it. I paid it. When you're nailing the boards on, you want a minimum of 3 nails at each stud, all the way across. When you're nailing your 1x4, you want at least 2 nails like this, every 16 inches all the way up and down. Keep your nailing consistent. If you do nick the wood and you see a little bit of white there, like I have on some of the edges, I'm going to order a marker that's pretty close to this color and just fill it in with the marker. Those work really good. They call them furniture markers. I'm going to be ordering some of those, so when the project's done, I can go back and touch everything up. If you're going to use adhesive, you got to put your adhesive on first, but make sure it fits first before you put the adhesive on. And this is what it is right here. I got the Silica Pro construction adhesive, multi-purpose adhesive. Don't go gluing it up with the adhesive and then realize, oh shit, it's too long. I got to cut it again. Now you got to deal with all that adhesive stuck on the back. So make sure you dry fit it without your adhesive, and then once you know it fits perfect, then put your adhesive on and then start nailing. Okay, this here's the Milwaukee 25-foot tape measure. It's got a magnet on it, and this thing is really strong, very inexpensive. I got a 2-pack when I bought this. I'll put a link in the description, check it out.
Got 9 rows up, really making some good progress here. Here we go, now row number 10. All right, looking good, everything's looking good, but now I just realized something. I have to extend my lines up for my studs so I can make sure I keep nailing this thing properly. Getting very close to the top here. I think I'm almost done. I'm pretty sure I only have about, I don't know, 3 or 4 more boards to go.
All right, everybody. We are almost completed. I don't have any more planks. I thought I ordered enough. Apparently not. It looks like I need at least 3 more, maybe 4. As far as I can go right now, I'm gonna have to order another box. Shit happens. As you can see, a lot's happened since I had to order more shiplap to finish my project. I've had my cabinet installed. I've had my counter installed. This is really shaping up and looking really good. I'm pretty impressed here. You might be wondering why I didn't use the construction adhesive like I mentioned. The reason why I didn't use it is because I had plenty of studs in the wall to nail to. I had plenty of nailing points, so I didn't see the need for this. But if I was going to install these boards vertically, I would definitely use adhesive because studs are typically 16 inches apart, 16 inches on center. If you're doing vertical, these boards are only like 7¼ inches wide. So you definitely need adhesive because you won't be able to nail into something solid on every row. Let me get these last pieces of shiplap plank in and then we'll break open that box of floating shelves.
To fit my top board properly, I had to rip off the tongue right there all the way across with my table saw. Just a few more nails to go and we're done.
Check it out, I got my markers. Now I can do my touch-up on my accent wall. There's multiple shades of gray in here, so I don't know which one's gonna work best. So I'm gonna take one of my spare pieces that I cut off and I'm gonna try it on here first. So I suggest you do the same. If you put the wrong color up there, you might be stuck with it. That to me seems to be a good match right there. I'm gonna go with the carbon gray. I was painting above and a drop landed there. I tried wiping it off and that's what happened here. That's why it looks so white right here. Well, that already looks better to me than what it did, so I can live with that. This was a very fun project to do, very easy to do and very inexpensive. So look, if you're a DIYer, you got some basic tools, you can cut this with a skill saw. I suggest you use a miter saw so you get some accurate cuts though. If you don't have one, you can always rent one at Home Depot. But anyway, this looks awesome. This just changes the whole feel of the room and you can do this to your house. Don't even think twice about it. Just get online and look at a bunch of different photos of what different accent walls can be made out of. You can use a smooth board. This is a rough board I chose. And I'm going to be doing other stuff with the accent wall later. I'm going to add some other wood to my walls in different areas and just paint it the same color as the room. It'll give it a slightly different feel, but it'll be the same color. So there's a lot of different ways you can do this. So give it a try, do it on your own, save yourself some money, and have fun and make it your own. It is now time to open the floating shelf that I ordered 4 weeks ago. I am excited. Let's do this. Okay, here's the big reveal. Boom. Wait, what? Whoa, hang on here. Hang on, this is not what I ordered. Come on, man. I waited 4 weeks for this. This should be really dark and this should be really jagged. Look at this live edge right here. How smooth that is. That's not what I ordered. That's not what I saw in the photos. Now I got to contact these people and say, what the hell did you do? This whole thing cost $2,000. But man, this is not the color I want. This does not match my decor. This does not have the edge I was looking for. This is too smooth and too clean. The one I saw the photo of, the one I ordered, the one that made me select this company to order this, is very jagged. And it looks awesome, and it was really dark walnut. This is too light. Look at this. This is not what I wanted. This is very disappointing. 4 weeks. So now I have to email these guys or call them and say, hey, what's going on? I'm not happy. So my floating shelves is going to be continued. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and don't forget I rebranded the channel to Behind the Walls. See you on the next one.